time and agreed.
It's a good question. I think to a certain extent, I think that's probably true. You know, Jalen is a really, really talented player, and I think he is right now playing sort of that number 2 role. Like, that is how the Celtics use him, right? Like, so, you know, these conversations that we have about the Celtics offense, they do revolve around Tatum, and that's because the Celtics, you know, as a team revolve around Tatum. And I do think that, you know, Tatum is kind of the team superstar, but Jalen is really, really good. I think on a, you know, on a lesser team with maybe a lesser superstar next to him, he might, you know, have a bigger chance to put up big numbers. And, you know, we've seen every single season, you know, he gets a little bit better. He adds, you know, dribble moves to his package. You know, he's got all of this stuff that he did not have as a rookie. So, you know, I think he's definitely somebody who just gets better every single year.
And with that development, that was on full display in Game 1. You had the second highest plus-minus in the game at plus 22. And on Friday's Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Jay Williams had high praise.
Jaylen Brown had the best game of his young NBA career last night. Now, you'll look at the stat line and you'll say, well, Jay, he only had 24 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. But in the fourth quarter, at the beginning of the fourth quarter, there is a little bit of a different mentality that he has. He scored or assisted on 20 of the Celtics' first 23 points of the fourth quarter. And he allowed the other ancillary players to step up in those big moments. But they will never be in those moments if Jaylen Brown doesn't go on that burst. And he is a difference maker in this game. In the game in which Jason Tatum was not his usual offensive self, the impact of Jaylen Brown in the fourth quarter was the main culprit in which why the Golden State Warriors had that epic collapse.
The NBA Finals coming up on ESPN Radio. Tune in for Game 2 tonight as the Warriors host the Celtics. It's presented by Indeed. Coverage begins 7 p.m. Eastern on most ESPN radio stations. Coming up next, our baseball insider says 60 home runs is in reach for a player this season. This is SportsCenter All Night on ESPN Radio. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
When you look at Draymond Green and Kevon Looney's stat line, they aren't good. Who's picking up the slack for Golden State?
Get more from the guys Monday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. This is SportsCenter All Night. This weekend on ESPN Radio, NL Central rivals go head-to-head at Wrigley Field when the St. Louis Cardinals face the Chicago Cubs. Coverage of Sunday Night Baseball begins tonight at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. The Low Post Podcast with Zach Lowe.
This whole finals and conference finals is like revenge of the defense. The 4 conference finalists were 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 7th in team defense.
Check out the Low Post Podcast on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts. Bart and Hahn.
One thing about what's happening in Miami, Bart, it feels like they are trying to shove it down our throats that Tua's the guy. Everyone just keeps